Good evening. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Monday, and we're sitting here at the 14th of July, 2025. So in looking at the markets, well, the gold market made a run for the 3,400 level and just couldn't hold up with it. Market's down now back into the 3,350 area. The silver market, I expect ups and downs. You should. This is a market that's going up for new highs for many, many years. And it's, to me, had a breakout to the upside. Copper market, as I said, I expect some hedging to be coming into this market. If I were in the copper mining business, I can't imagine not doing it if I could produce the product and lock this in. More red on the screen. You can see the back end of the grains down a little. I'm sorry, the back end of the bonds and notes coming down right here. In fact, all parts of it are doing that. When we look at the foreign currencies, down a little bit as well. So you've got to keep your eye that things just aren't as rosy. And I was noticing today weakness, especially in the Dow Jones. And I'm of the opinion that the market doesn't act, in the Dow especially right now, like it wants to go anywhere. We'll cover that in the futures when we get into the financial part. And that'll be the video I do after this. The New York Fed Empire State Manufacturing Survey for July, that's due out in the morning. They're looking for a reading of a negative, last month was a negative 16. They think they're going to get an improvement to a negative 9. The U.S. June consumer CPI is coming out. This is where everybody's going to forecast. People keep looking, including me. I want to be at the head of that list. When are we going to see the first bout of the tariff inflation kick in? So I think that's what's weighing on the stock market right now. It's forecast to be up this time 3 times the size that it was in May. It was up 1/10. Now they're looking for 3/10. They're doing the same on the monthly terms. On an annualized basis, they're looking up 2.7% from the year ago month. And then the core year over year is expected up 3%. So is this where we're going to get the lift? We've been disappointed before. Could be again. Redbook Group, they're going to give us retail sales, which have been excellent. No way around it. And that should be, again, 4.5% to 5.5%. And API numbers will come out in the afternoon at about 3:30. So if we could, let's go back and just take a look at what we've got here on the chart in gold. And as you can see, the market for the week, it's not doing anything. It's down 0.1%. You can see how the market reached up, couldn't quite go anywhere against that 3,400 level, backed off. You can see what it got to, 33.89, and it came down from there. So the question is, does the market want to retrace back to the 18-day average? And it looks like that, to figure out what to do next. Are we trending? No. What you have is a higher high and a lower low pattern. That is not a trend pattern at this point. You're nowhere near the upper and lower Bollinger Bands. That doesn't mean they can't come into play, but they're not there right now. And as you can see, when you look at the market, the rally, you're into overbought territory with the 70 reading, and that's even with the market down tonight. Gold-silver ratio corrected a little bit, and it's correcting right now, doing that. But look at the difference of the silver chart, how strong it looks. Now, get a good break in this market, and I'm not talking that it has to go to the 18-day average, but if it did, that's $1.50. I don't think it's getting that far on the downside, but I do look for a pullback in the market right now. Copper, I expected it to get inside the Bollinger Band after that 50% tariff news that the president threw out a week ago, and that's what we've done. I don't expect this market to break a lot, but I do think it's got to work off the overbought condition and now give us a higher pattern to trade off of, and I don't think it's there yet. And platinum did what we wanted last week. It got to the upper Bollinger Band. You're backing off. It's overbought. I think the pros took money off the table and walked away from it, in fact. So we'll see. Now, metals could come alive in a big way if inflation readings jump tomorrow. That's what I'd expect out of the gold. The down tonight could be the sucker play, setting up for, if inflation is strong, the market goes the other way. Working against that would be a stronger dollar, because interest rates wouldn't have a reason to be cut by the Fed. So it's a confusing time right there. As you can see, the dollar's gotten a bid. It's overbought as can be. It could go up even further. And the big question will be, are you going to be able to take out these lows again and make a run for that 90 level? You don't have to go there. You've hit your fourth count. You're far enough. But if the market's going to start feeding on itself to the downside, then this is no more than a bear market rally. Right now, the fact that it's overbought, I would not tell clients to deploy new money into this market. I tell them to come out, take a fresh look at things after we get these other reports. Now, one of the things, if you haven't tried our QT Mobile, our phone app, it works on Android, Apple, everything, is how cool it is. Now, if you're a commodity trader, you want maps of drought. You want to keep up with what the markets are doing. Sometimes I'll be driving in my car. I just hit my phone and I put a list in there of the commodities I want to follow, and orally it'll call out for me. I can set it in many ways. Last, net change, price, whatever it is. I want to look at charts. I look at charts on so many of these and you can't really use them. You can with ours. Next thing I do is when I look at it, what about all the research? Mine's even in here. So if you're a subscriber to my research, it all plays here. The Linn research plays galore through this. And we've created it with two different viewpoints. So you can look at big quotes or small. So in other words, how many times on the phone I have so many apps, I can't read them. And that's how they play. So voice control, you can ask the app to do what you want. It plays in other ways. I think you'll like what you see. Give it a free trial. Just go to iraepstein.com, free offer, sign up for it there. We'll make sure you get it. I'm Ira. Have yourself a great day. I'll catch up with you all in the other videos tonight. And of course, in the morning video, give us a thumb up if you have time. Take care.